Good evening, I'm student meteorologist Margaret Needham bringing you a look at our current radar. We see some showers and thunderstorms making their way across the state. We've been getting a lot of rain in the Atlanta metro area today, and that's because of a stationary front that's been sitting across our state. Now, this rain is not associated with Hurricane Helene, but it is a concern as we look towards the future. This rain is saturating our soils, which means by the time we do start seeing rain from the outer bands of Hurricane Helene tomorrow, the soil will not be able to retain any more moisture, which means we will see a high risk of flooding. Now, most of the state is under a tropical storm warning, and it's rare for one of these warnings to be issued so far north, but that's because the storm is moving so quickly that it's going to be able to maintain much of its intensity as it moves further inland. We can also look towards the southwest portion of the state. It's going to be Macon, Albany, Valdosta. You are under a hurricane warning, so when this storm moves through late on Thursday, early in the morning on Friday, you will be seeing hurricane force winds, and even though you are not on the coast, it's important for you to understand that you still can experience that severe threat. We can take a look at what Helene looks like right now on radar. It's sitting to the west of Cuba with sustained winds of 85 miles an hour as a Category 1 storm. Over the next 24 hours, it will be moving over some very warm Gulf water. So by the time it makes landfall on the Big Bend of Florida tomorrow night, it will be a major hurricane. And again, this is moving very quickly. So it makes landfall right around midnight tomorrow, but then it already reaches Athens and Atlanta by 5 to 6 a.m. on Friday. Now, again, it's moving quickly, so we won't see rain for long. It'll be out of our area by Friday afternoon, be impacting Tennessee. Now, with all this rain, the National Weather Service has issued an excessive rainfall outlook. We see a high risk up here in the Appalachians, and down here where the storm will be making its landfall, we do want to be aware of the risk for landslides, potentially life-threatening flash flooding, and some rivers overflowing. The rest of Georgia is in a moderate risk, so you do still need to be aware of this threat. Make sure you're keeping up with the National Weather Service for any flash flood warnings that are issued. Now, rain is not our only threat with this storm. We're also seeing the threat of some strong winds. We can look at Thursday evening. We see the eastern portion of the state starting to see some of these gusts, 24 miles an hour in Athens, 22 down in Madison. And these are only going to increase as we head through the overnight hours. We get all the way to 82 over in Washington, 67 here in Athens. And that's because the eastern portion of the state will be experiencing the right front quadrant of the storm, which is always where we see the most intense winds. So over here in Georgia, you will notice these, over here in West Georgia, you will notice these very strong wind gusts. But over here in East Georgia, this is where we are really watching for the chance of those downed trees and downed power lines. Now, an overall look at our severe threat as we head into Friday. All of Georgia will be getting rain from this. As we head further south and east, we see that chance for some stronger tropical storm force winds picking up. Again, also seeing some of those stronger thunderstorms. As we head further south, you're going to see even stronger winds, even stronger thunderstorms. And then when we get to the Savannah and Brunswick area, that's when we're going to see our main threat for an isolated tornado or two. Make sure you stay tuned with the Weather Dogs over the next couple of days as we continue to bring you updates about Hurricane Helene. I'm student meteorologist Margaret Needham. Go Dogs!